Claire hurriedly said, I know, Dad, you don't have to worry about it, just eat quickly. Jacob said earnestly, I'm here to teach you life experience, especially you, Claire. You are too busy with work every day. You should learn more like Charlie. If you have something to do, you can take a good rest. Take a look at your home. In my opinion, you can take a few days off first and go on a trip with Charlie or something. Charlie said at this time, About that, Dad, I may have to go to another place in the next 2 days. Going to another place? Jacob asked curiously. Good son-in-law, where are you going? Charlie said, I'm going to Eastcliff. To Eastcliff? Jacob asked in surprise. What are you going to do in Eastcliff? Claire was also puzzled. In her impression, Charlie had never left Orus Hill for nearly 4 years since he married her. She didn't know why he suddenly wants to go to Eastcliff so far this time. In fact, Charlie did not go to other places. Some time ago, because of the Regnar beggar gang, he went to the border of the 2 provinces. As for Eastcliff, he never went back since he left that year. At this time, Charlie took out an excuse to watch feng shui again, and said with a smile, Someone introduced me to a job about feng shui, and I will go to Eastcliff to give a rich man a new villa to see feng shui. When Elaine heard this, she asked excitedly, Good son-in-law, the big family in Eastcliff, should give a lot of money? Charlie nodded and said lightly, They said, if I go there, they will give me 5 million. If the feng shui looks good, they will give another 3 million, making a total of 8 million. My God! Elaine said with joy, You can make 8 million in one trip to Eastcliff? Good son-in-law, you are really promising. Mom used to be so clumsy. I didn't see you like that. Never thought that you have the ability. Jacob gave her a blank look and coldly snorted, You are always above the top. You didn't look down on Charlie in the past, do you know it now? Even if Charlie has no family background, people rely on their own hands. Can rise to the pinnacle of life. Elaine became anxious and cursed, Don't bullshit. Was I the only one with higher eyes? In the first 3 years of Charlie's marriage with Claire, you seemed to be treating him as an inferior in all sorts of things, right? The face says you did? Jacob's expression was a little embarrassed, and he said vaguely, I at least realized earlier than you. Elaine snorted coldly, 99 steps, 100 steps, you are so embarrassed. You, don't bullshit. Jacob blushed and retorted with a thick neck, You are farting. If you take 100 steps, I will only have 50 steps at most. Claire said helplessly, It's okay, how can you two quarrel at everything? Jacob curled his lips, gave Elaine a white look, and said, The relationship is broken. Of course, everything can make a noise. Elaine patted the table, Jacob, it's endless, right? Jacob shrunk his neck. I don't have the same nature as yours. Claire sighed, looked at Charlie, and asked earnestly, Did you agree to respond to the Eastcliff matter? Yes. Charlie said with a smile, I will go there in the next few days, but don't worry, it won't be too long. I will be back in a few days at most. Claire didn't question Charlie's remarks. In her impression, he gradually got to know a lot of influential people in Orus Hill because he knew feng shui. To be honest, Charlie really helped the family a lot by looking at feng shui. Otherwise, it is impossible for the family to live in such a good villa and lead such a superior life. In the past, Claire was very worried that Charlie was fooling others by seeing feng shui, for fear that it would explode with thunder one day. However, with the development of time, she discovered that none of the big people Charlie saw feng shui for had turned against him. This also proved that Charlie's ability to see feng shui should have real talents, so she didn't need to worry too much. Therefore, she softly said, Eastcliff is not Orus Hill. There are many very powerful characters in the place where dragons and tigers are hidden. If you go to Eastcliff, don't do whatever you want like in Orus Hill, especially don't create conflict with others. Just do things, and come back as soon as you are done. Charlie hurriedly nodded and said, Good wife, I know, don't worry, I will definitely not have any conflicts with others. I will come back immediately after I finish feng shui. Claire nodded, Okay, you have to pay more attention to yourself. Charlie thought, after he comes back from Eastcliff, He should be going to Japan, and he has to get Kobayashi Pharmaceutical in his hands, so that it would speed up the production of JXYZN. Moreover, when the production capacity is sufficient, he can also prepare for the trial production of the liver protection tablets. Therefore, he simply gave Claire a vaccination in advance and said, "By the way, Claire, after I return from Eastcliff, I may have to go to Japan again." Go to Japan? Claire and her family of 3 were very surprised. Claire blurted out and asked, "Is it? Does someone in Japan invite you to see feng shui?" Charlie smiled and said, "Do you remember Liang from Wei's Pharmaceuticals?" Claire nodded. "Remember, didn't you also show him feng shui?" "Yes." Charlie said, "His JX Pharmaceutical wants to acquire a Japanese pharmaceutical company next. So he wants me to go to Japan to help him see if the company's feng shui is the same as that of his head office."